कृपा सिंधु भैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। Hare Krishna. So continuing from the first chapter of the second canto, which is entitled The First Step in God Realization. And in this part of Srimad Bhagavatam, where we see where Sukadeva Goswami is highly recommending for everyone for their ultimate perfection is the process of hearing, chanting, glorifying, and sharing the transcendental character and pastimes of the Lord in the form of this cultural presentation called Srimad Bhagavatam. And here he is giving the example of himself, that how Srimad Bhagavatam attracts even the topmost transcendentalist. And who is the topmost transcendentalist? Srila Shukadeva Goswami himself. He said at the end of the Dwapar Yuga, I studied this great supplement of Vedic literature named Srimad Bhagavatam, which is equal to all Vedas from my father Srila Dvaipayan Vyasadeva. Going further, he says, Parinishito api nirgunya uttam shloka lilaya grihite cheta rajarashe akyanam yad adhitavan. O saintly king, I was certainly situated perfectly in transcendence. What is transcendence? Is nirgunya. Nirgunya is where the effect of the three modes are not there. That means one who is in the transcendence. So he was situated in the highest form of transcendence. Yet I was still attracted by the delineation of the pastimes of the Lord. How he was attracted? By hearing Uttam Shloka Leelaya. We discussed this verse, the two Srimad Bhagavatam words which were recited to him. Yet I was still attracted by the delineation of the pastimes of the Lord, who is described by enlightened verses. That is Uttam Shloka. The absolute truth is realized as the impersonal Brahman at the first instance by philosophical speculation, and later as the supersoul by further progress of transcendental knowledge. But if by the grace of the Lord, an impersonalist is enlightened by the superior statement of Srimad Bhagavatam, he is also converted into transcendental devotee of the personality of Godhead, even an impersonalist. With poor fund of knowledge, we cannot adjust the idea of the personality of the absolute truth. And thus the personal activities of the Lord are deplored by the less intelligent impersonalist. But reason and argument together with the transcendental process of approaching the absolute truth help even the staunch impersonalist to become attracted by the personal activities of the Lord. A person like Sukadeva Goswami cannot be attracted by any mundane activity. But when such a devotee is convinced by the superior method, he is certainly attracted by the transcendental activities of the Lord. The Lord is transcendental, as are his activities. He is neither inactive nor impersonal. So as we acquire this quality of nirgunya, as we being situated in the transcendence, gradually. To that extent, we will see that Uttam Shloka Leelaya, Srimad Bhagavatam, the other name of Srimad Bhagavatam should be Uttam Shloka Leelaya. What is Srimad Bhagavatam? It is having the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And what Srimad Bhagavatam contains? The glorification. That is Uttam Shloka Leelaya. The attraction for Srimad Bhagavatam will become deeper and clearer. But one who is affected by the lower modes, for him, it is very difficult to invoke the attraction. But this attraction is so overwhelming that Srila Shukadeva Goswami thinks that even the most impersonalist person who does not believe in the form of the Lord, who does not believe in the pastimes of the Lord, even if he hears, then he can be transformed and he can become a devotee of God. Such is the potency of Srimad Bhagavatam. Tat aham te abhidisyami महापौरशिको भवान यस्य श्रद्धानतम असु स्यान् मुकुंदे मति सती. That very Srimad Bhagavatam, tad aham te abhidhisyami. Abhidhisyami means to recite. And tat aham is that, what that, which made me attracted, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. I shall recite to whom? Maha Paurushikha, the most sincere devotee of the Lord Krishna. This is being said for Maharaj Parikshit, who is your good self. That very Srimad Bhagavatam I shall recite before you, because you are the most sincere devotee of Lord Krishna. And one who gives full attention and respect to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, very important. Yashra Shraddhada Hatam. Then aso means very soon, very quickly. Syat Mukunda Mati Sati. Mati here is faith. Mati also means one's consciousness. So he's saying that one who gives full attention and respect to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam achieves unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord, the giver of salvation. This is the effect, the extraordinary effect that one can experience if he gives full attention and respect to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the recognized Vedic wisdom, and the system of receiving Vedic knowledge is called Avaroha Pantha, or the process of receiving transcendental knowledge through a bona fide disciplic succession. Avaroha means that it is the descending process. It is coming down. Knowledge is coming down from the bona fide disciplic succession. For advancement of material knowledge, there is no need. For advancement of material knowledge, there is a need for personal ability and research aptitude. But in the case of spiritual knowledge, all progress depends more or less on the mercy of the spiritual master. The spiritual master must be satisfied with the disciples. Only then is knowledge automatically manifested before the student of spiritual science. It is very important. The spiritual master must be satisfied with the disciple. Only then the knowledge is automatically manifested before the student of spiritual science. The process should not, however, be misunderstood to be something like magical feats, whereby the spiritual master acts like a magician and injects spiritual knowledge into his disciple, as if surcharging him with an electrical current. The bona fide spiritual master reasonably explains everything to the disciple on the authority of the Vedic wisdom. The disciple can receive such teachings not exactly intellectually, but by submissive inquiries and a service attitude. The famous verse from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Tad vidhi paripatena pariprashnena sevaya. So that is the qualification. The idea is that both the spiritual master and the disciple must be bona fide. In this case, the spiritual master Shukdev Goswami is ready to recite exactly what he has learned from his great father, Srila Vyasadeva. And the disciple Maharaj Parikshit is a great devotee of Lord Krishna. A devotee of Lord Krishna is he who believes sincerely that by becoming a devotee of the Lord, one becomes equally equipped with everything spiritual. Prabhupada gives the definition that who is actually a devotee of the Lord Krishna. A devotee of Lord Krishna is one who believes sincerely that by becoming a devotee of the Lord, one becomes fully equipped with everything spiritual. What is the principle? Very famous verse which speaks this principle. That a devotee of Lord Krishna is he who believes sincerely that by becoming a devotee of the Lord, one becomes fully equipped with everything spiritual. Very famous verse. Very, very famous verse. Prabhupada quoted it many times. What is the verse? Brilliant. This is giving the qualification of who is actually a devotee. We may assume in so many ways that we are aspiring or we are becoming a devotee, but this is where the test is. What is the test? Brilliant. Give me the verse. Bolo, you all know the verse. You heard many, many times. Yes, there, Shilpa.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Little bit, I remember Prabhuji. Shraddha Sabde Sudrida Nishchaya, something like that. I'm forgetting Prabhuji.
Understanding is not clear there. Yes, it is the verse. Shraddha Shabde Vishwash Kahe Shudrid Nishchoye Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krit Hoy. This is the point. Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krit Hoy. If this conviction, this knowledge is there in the heart, then one is a devotee of the Lord. A devotee of the Lord, one who believes that sincerely that by becoming a devotee of the Lord, one becomes fully equipped with everything spiritual. Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krit Hoy. This teaching is imparted by the Lord Himself in the pages of the Bhagavad Gita, in which it is clearly described that the Lord Sri Krishna is everything, and to surrender unto Him solely and wholly makes one the most perfectly pious man. This unflinching faith in Lord Krishna prepares one to become a student of Srimad Bhagavatam. And one who hears Srimad Bhagavatam from a devotee like Shukdev Goswami is sure to attain salvation at the end, as Maharaj Parikshit did. The professional reciters of Srimad Bhagavatam and the pseudo devotees whose faith is based on 1 week's hearing are different from Shukdev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit. Prabhupada is warning us that the professional reciters of Srimad Bhagavatam and the pseudo devotees, those who are devotee in name only, those are fake devotees, pseudo devotees, is based on 1 week's hearing from different from Shukdev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit. Srila Vyasadeva explained Srimad Bhagavatam unto Shukdev Goswami from the very beginning of Janmadi Asaya, 1.1.1 verse. And so Shukdev Goswami also explained it to the king. So Prabhupada is mentioning that one who has faith, he will not be only hearing for 1 week or from the 10th canto, or not only from Rasa Panchadhyaya, from how he will be approaching Srimad Bhagavatam from the very beginning, right from verse 1 to next verse. There is one verse which speak about how Srimad Bhagavatam is to be recited. Do you remember the verse? Very famous verse. That how Srimad Bhagavatam must be approached. We have covered that verse. We discussed that verse also, but not with this perspective. Very, very famous verse. It is in the first canto. बोलिए. बोलो प्रभु. This is a famous verse, very, very famous verse on how Srimad Bhagavatam is to be approached. It also speaks about the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Tadvak visargo janataga viplavo. Yasmin prati shlokam abadhavati. So how one is to approach? Prati shlokam. Verse by verse. Not haphazardly. Then that is not a devotee of the Lord. But that does not speak about his faith. We will be tested. When we will proceed in the second canto, very difficult topics will come of creation. And then when we will be in the third canto, again creation will come. And we will be in the fifth canto, then again creation will come. And that creation is so overwhelmingly difficult to grasp by human intelligence. Or how do we go approaching that creation? Verse by verse. Whether we understand or we fail to understand. We cannot skip it. So here, Shukadeva Goswami is himself explaining that you cannot select what is called cherry picking. You know what is cherry picking? Bhagavatam is not meant for cherry picking. It is entire cherry. If you have to pick, you have to pick the entire Bhagavatam. Okay. The professional reciters of Srimad Bhagavatam and the pseudo devotees whose faith is based on 1 week's hearing are different from Shukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit. Srila Vyasadeva explained Srimad Bhagavatam unto Shukadeva Goswami from the very beginning. And so Shukadeva Goswami also explained it to the king. Lord Krishna is described as the Mahapurusha in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, in his devotional feature as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna himself in the devotional attitude, descended to earth to bestow special favors upon the fallen souls of the age of Kali. There are 2 verses particularly suitable to offer as praise to this Mahapurusha feature of Lord Krishna. ध्येयां सदा परिभाव गृह्णाम अभीष्ट दोहम तीर्थस्पदम शिव विरंची नूतम शरण्यम भृत्यार्थी अहं प्रणतापाला भवाब्धि पोतम वंदे महापुरुषा ते चरणारविंदम वक्त्वा स्वदुस्तजया सुरपिष्ठिता राज्य लक्ष्मीं धर्मिष्ठा आर्यवचसा यदागत आरण्यम मायामृगं दयिता येप्सितम् अनावधावः वंदे महापुरुषा ते चरणारविंदम. Very beautiful. This is speaking about life of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That Purusha means the enjoyer and Mahapurusha means the supreme enjoyer or the supreme personality of God, Shri Krishna. One who deserves to approach the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna is called a Mahapurushika. Anyone who hears Srimad Bhagavatam attended from its bona fide reciter is sure to become a sincere devotee of the Lord, who is able to award liberation. There was none so attentive as Maharaj Parikshit in the matter of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And there was none so qualified as Shukdev Goswami to recite the text of Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, anyone who follows in the footsteps of either the ideal reciter or the ideal hearer, Shukdev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit respectively, will undoubtedly attain salvation like them. Salvation there means a perfection. Maharaj Parikshit attained salvation by hearing only. And Sukdev Goswami attained salvation only by reciting. Shravanam, Kirtanam. Recitation and hearings are two processes out of 9 devotional activities. And by strenuously following these processes, either all of them or some of them can attain to the absolute plane. So the complete text of Srimad Bhagavatam, beginning with Janmadi Yasa, verse up to the last one in the 12th canto, was spoken by Shukdev Goswami for the attainment of salvation by Maharaj Parikshit. In the Padma Puran, it is mentioned that Gautam Muni advised Maharaj Amrisha to hear regularly Srimad Bhagavatam, as it was recited by Shukdev Goswami. And herein it is confirmed that Maharaj Amrisha heard Srimad Bhagavatam from the very beginning to the end, as it was spoken by Shukdev Goswami. One who is actually interested in Bhagavatam, therefore, must not play with it by reading or hearing a portion from here and a portion from there. Very, very important aspect. Prabhupada is saying, what Prabhupada's word, that one must not play with it by reading a portion from here and a portion from there. One must follow in the footsteps of the great kings like Maharaj Amrish, Maharaj Parikshit, and hear it from the bona fide representative of Shukdev Goswami and proceed verse by verse. In fact, if you remember, Srimad Bhagavatam is for whom? Srimad Bhagavatam is for? What is the second verse? After Janmadi Asyata, what is the second verse? Who remembers? Bhul gaya kya? What is the second verse? Yes, Sonika?
Dharma projit katavo atra nirmat saranam satam.
It is for Nirmat Satanam Satam. So where is that quality of going Nirmat Sara? There is no master in the heart. There is only love in the heart. There is no envy. And Satam, Satam is pure devotee. Those who are, of course, Nirmat Sara. Then we have no qualification. Then how can we approach Srimad Bhagavatam? The Prabhupada says, one who goes verse by verse, step by step. Srimad Bhagavatam is to be approached verse by verse. And here clearly Prabhupada is saying that one who is not doing verse by verse, what is he doing? What is Srila Prabhupada mentioning here? What kind of reader he is? Yes, Radhika?
He's playing.
Yeah. He's only just making a fool of himself. But one who is a sincere hearer of Srimad Bhagavatam, what is the result? What is the benediction of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam? Someone else should answer. What is the result? Kuber, one who is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, what is the result? बोलिए.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Hare Krishna.
मुक्ति प्राप्त कर लेगा
Salvation. Yeah. He will attain the highest perfection. Very beautiful verse. Eta nirvidyamananam ikchatum akuto bhayam yoginam nripanirnetam hare namanukirtanam. This is the word to be recited. Everyone should remember this word. Eta nirvidyamananam ikchatum akuto bhayam yoginam nripanirnetam hare namanukirtanam. So etat of this and nirvidyamananam. Nirvidyamananam means those who are completely free from all type of material aspirations or material desires. Those who are pure soul. Even if one is a highest transcendentalist, as we saw in the case of Maharaj Parikshit himself, he is nirvidyamananam. Even if one is not nirvidyamananam, he is ikchatum. Those who have all types of material desires. So for all classes of men, and the third classes of men is yoginam. So he's talking about three classes of men. Those who are nirvidyamananam, those who are free from all material aspirations. Second is those who are ikchatam, those who are infested with all kind of material sense enjoyment and material desires. And third is yoginam. Yoginam means who are self-satisfied. All of them akuto bhayam. They will be free from all doubts and fear. How? Nirnitam. Nirnitam means the decision. What is the decision? And how can there be akuto bhayam? Hare namanu kirtanam. Because if either of these three classes of men or all these three classes of men, if they are hearing Hare namanu kirtanam, okay, in constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord, after the ways of the great authority is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires. Ikchatum. No, sorry. Nirvidyamananam. Those who are free from all material desires is nirvidyamananam. Those who are desirous of all material enjoyment is ikchatum. And those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge, that is Srimad. So what they can all be? They can be free from all type of fears and doubts by Hare Namanu Kirtanam. This is also the glory of Krishna Katha, or chanting the glories and the names of the Supreme Lord. In the previous verse, the great necessity for attaining attachment to Mukunda has been accredited. There are different types of persons who desire to attain success in different varieties of pursuits. Generally, the persons are materialist. who desire to enjoy the fullest extent of material gratification. Next to them are the transcendentalists who have attained perfect knowledge about the nature of material enjoyment and thus are aloof from such an illusionary way of life. More or less, they are satisfied in themselves by self-realization. So, first class is those who are infatuated with all kinds of material desires, karmis. Next to them is those who have knowledge of the nature of material enjoyment, and these people are aloof. So these are jnanis. You have knowledge and they know the consequences. These are jnanis. The first are ajnanis. So they are satisfied in themselves by self-realization. Above them are the devotees of the Lord, who neither aspire to enjoy the material world nor desire to get out of it. So that is karmis and jnanis. They are after the satisfaction of Lord Shri Krishna. These are yogis, or among the top most of the yogis is the bhakti yogis, who are after the satisfaction of Lord Shri Krishna. In other words, the devotees of the Lord do not want anything on their personal account. If the Lord desires, the devotees can accept all sorts of material facilities. And if the Lord does not desire, the devotees can leave aside all sorts of facilities, even up to the limit of salvation. Nor are they self-satisfied because they want the satisfaction of the Lord only. In this verse, Sri Shukdev Goswami recommends the transcendental chanting of the holy names of the Lord. By offenseless chanting and hearing of the holy names of the Lord, one becomes acquainted with the transcendental form of the Lord. So first is what? Nama. When one has a Name Ruchi, Prabhupada is saying here, by offenseless chanting and hearing of the holy name of the Lord, how can one come to the offenseless state? When there is Ruchi. One becomes acquainted with the transcendental form of the Lord. That is Rupa, Nama Rupa. And then with the attributes of the Lord. That is called Guna. His qualities. And then by the transcendental nature of his pastime, that is called Leela. So without overcoming the offensive stage of hearing and chanting, which is Name Ruchi, one can never be attracted by the form, nor can he understand the qualities and what to say of the Leela of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord. So this is where the whole world is making the mistake. Because if you see all the other Bhagavatam reciters, are they practicing Name Ruchi? Are they chanting the holy names of the Lord? How can they be attracted by the form? How can they know the qualities, the attributes of the Lord? And how can they relish the pastime, the Leela, which they are describing? But they have no such qualification to taste the transcendental taste, the nectar which is there flowing in Krishna Leela. So this is how the progression is. His pastimes and so on, and thus the necessity of the chanting of his glories develops successively. This process is recommended not only for the successful execution of devotional service, but also even for those who are materially attached. According to Sri Shukdev Goswami, this way of attaining success is an established fact, concluded not only by him, but by all other previous acharyas. Therefore, there is no need of further evidence. So Prabhupada is saying that this is the established fact. The process is recommended not only for the progressive student in different departments of ideological success, but also for those who were already successful in their achievement as fruitive workers, as philosophers, or as devotees of the Lord. Srila Jiva Goswami instructs that chanting of the holy name of the Lord should be loudly done, and it should be performed offenselessly as well, as recommended in the Padma Purana. One can deliver himself from the effects of all sins by surrendering himself unto the Lord. One can deliver himself from all offenses at the feet of the Lord by taking shelter of his holy name. Very important. But one cannot protect himself if he commits an offense at the feet of the holy name of the Lord. Such offenses are mentioned in the Padma Purana as being 10 in number. The first offense is to vilify the great devotees who have preached about the glories of the Lord. The second offense is to see the holy names of the Lord in terms of worldly distinctions. The Lord is the proprietor of all universes, and therefore he may be known in different places by different names. But that does not in any way qualify the fullness of the Lord. Any nomenclature which is meant for the Supreme Lord is as holy as the others, because they are all meant for the Lord. Such holy names are as powerful as the Lord, and there is no bar for anyone in any part of the creation to chant and glorify the Lord by a particular name of the Lord, as it is locally understood. Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti Tatra Pita Niyamata Smarane Nava. The holy names of the Lord is as powerful, and there is no bar for anyone in any part of the creation to chant and glorify the name of the Lord by a particular name, as it is locally understood. They are all auspicious, and one should not distinguish such names of the Lord as material commodities. The third offense is to neglect the orders of the authorized acharyas or spiritual masters. The fourth offense is to vilify scriptures or Vedic knowledge. The fifth offense is to define the holy name of the Lord in terms of one's mundane calculation. The holy name of the Lord is identical with the Lord himself, and one should understand the holy name of the Lord to be non-different from him. The sixth offense is to interpret the holy name. The Lord is not imaginary, nor is his holy name. There are persons with poor fund of knowledge who think the Lord to be imagination of the worshippers, and therefore think his holy name to be imaginary. Such a chanter of the holy names, such a chanter of the names of the Lord cannot achieve the desired success in the matter of the chanting the holy name. Such a chanter of the name of the Lord cannot achieve the desired success in the matter of the chanting of the holy name. The seventh offense is to commit sins intentionally on the strength of the holy name. In the scriptures, it is said that one can be liberated from the effects of all sinful actions simply by chanting the holy names of the Lord. One who takes advantage of this transcendental method and continues to commit sins on the expectations of neutralizing the effect of sins by chanting the holy name of the Lord is a great offender at the feet of the holy name. Naam keval par paap karna. Such an offender cannot purify himself by any recommended method of purification. In other words, one may be a sinful man before chanting the holy name of the Lord. But after taking shelter in the holy name of the Lord and becoming immune one should strictly restrain oneself from committing sinful acts with a hope that this method of chanting the holy name will give him protection. The offense is to consider the holy name of the Lord material auspicious activity for material benefits. But the holy name and his chanting are not mere auspicious holy services. Undoubtedly, the holy name is holy service, but it should never be utilized for such purposes. Since the holy name and the Lord are of one and the same identity, one should not try to bring the holy name into the service of mankind. The idea is that the Supreme Lord is the supreme enjoyer. He is no one's servant or order supplier. Similarly, since the holy name of the Lord is identical with the Lord, one should not try to utilize the holy name for one's personal service. The ninth offense is to instruct those who are not interested in chanting the holy names of the Lord about the transcendental nature of the holy name. If such instruction is imparted to an unwilling audience, the act is considered to be an offense at the feet of the holy name. Why it is so? Why it is said that one who is not faithful, one should not impart instructions or glories of the holy name to such a person. Why it is considered an offense for one who is instructing those who are not faithful. The ninth offense is to instruct those who are not interested in chanting the holy names of the Lord about the transcendental nature of the holy name. If such instructions are imparted to an unwilling audience, the act is considered to be an offense at the feet of the holy name. Why it is so? Whether it is Nirvidyamana Nam, whether it is Dikshatam, whether it is Yoginam. For everyone, the holy name is beneficial. Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. So why this is considered to be an offense? The ninth offense. Please share. Yes, Dashil bro.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, if he is not faithful, then he will criticize or he will make fun of the things.
They criticize whom?
Holy name, Prabhuji, he'll speak bad about the holy name. That will again decrease whatever little faith he is having. Thank you.
So why it is on the part of offense for one who is glorifying the holy name? It is recommended that one must hear, chant and glorify. Hare Namanu Kirtana. This is the verse saying Hare Namanu Kirtana. What one is to do? There. One must glorify. Anyone can explain? What he has said is not wrong, but proper explanation. Every day we are chanting, and before chanting, every day we are reciting this, how to avoid these 10 offenses. And the ninth offenses, not to glorify the holy name for those who are unfaithful. Why one glorifies the holy name? He becomes an offender. बोलिए। Yes, Madam Prabhu.
Prabhuji, if someone is not faithful, he is an atheist, and we give him the holy name, so he will commit again, as the Ashil Prabhuji was telling, he will commit more sins. So if we encourage somebody to commit sins in some way, so I think that will be an offense, Prabhuji, to the lotus feet of the Lord.
Here, what is this verse saying? Etan nirvidyamananam. Okay. One who is nirvidyamananam, that means one who is completely free from all material aspirations. Or he is ikchatum, whether his heart is saturated with all material desires, or whether he is yogina. So he can be free from all doubts and fear if there is Hare Namanu Kirtanam. So the recommendation is to make him hear the Nama Kirtan. And here it is saying that one who gives the glories of the Nama Kirtan to someone who is faithless, he commits the offense. This, when Srila Haridas Thakur, when he was staying in Fulia, we all went to Fulia near Shantipur. Yeah. So at that time, he was traveling and he was preaching also. He used to go to Saptagram. You know place Saptagram? Anyone remember Saptagram, why it is famous for? For the great Acharya coming from Saptagram. Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami is from Saptagram. And there was a big assembly. And that assembly was organized by the father and uncle of Raghunath Das Goswami. And many Brahmins came there. And also Srila Haridas Thakur was invited. And one Brahmin there, Gopal Chakravarti, he was glorifying the holy name. And what glorification he was giving? That the holy name, one who is chanting and reciting the holy name, what he can receive? He can receive salvation. Like we heard here, it was saying in the last verse, in the 9th verse, that parinishito api nirgunya. And then Haridas Thakur spoke. He said, no. This is not the Mukhya Vritti of Harinam. This is the Gauna Vritti. The salvation you can get by any other process. The chief characteristic and quality of Harinam is not to give salvation. That is the secondary part. The main object of the holy name is that it invokes loving relation with the Lord and but engages in devotional service. So this Gopal Chakravarti, he became very annoyed. How dare you try to cut my argument or my recommendation. And he, very angrily said that if you're not able to prove this, I will cut your nose. In that big assembly, he challenged Srila Haridas Thakur. But Haridas Thakur is very, very meek and gentle devotee. He didn't say anything. He just left that place. And after 3 days, there was a terrible disease which was inflicted to Gopal Chakravarti, and his nose was affected by such a disease that his nose started to decay and fell off. Because he committed offense at the lotus feet of Haridas Thakur. So what do we learn from this episode? The conviction for the one who is preaching the non-faithful is also very much required. We are ourselves not very convinced. We're not accepting that the holy name is the highest benediction. And then we are preaching to those who are unfaithful. Then what we are doing? We are committing offense at the lotus feet of the holy names. And how that offense is? That is the 10th offense. What is the 10th offense? Manana Prabhu, what is the 10th offense?
We do not have complete faith in chanting and maintain material attachment.
After hearing the glories of the holy names of the Lord. For a Paramhansa, there is no offense. How the preaching will happen? If to the non-believers, the glories are not given, how they will become devotees? How the transformation will come? How we became devotees? Were we devotees from birth? Somebody came and told us, the glory to chant the holy name. And what were we? Were we very faithful? Were we very firm believers? No. But that conviction in his heart must be there. Janma sarthak kari par paropar. If we ourselves are not convinced and we are engaged in other pursuits of karma and jnana, then we should not preach the glories to the faithless. That means what? A prakrit bhakta cannot do that. A prakrit or neophyte devotee cannot do that. The 10th offense is to become uninterested in the holy names of the Lord even after hearing the transcendental nature of the holy names. The effect of chanting the holy name of the Lord is perceived by the chanter as liberation from the conception of false egoism. False egoism is exhibited by thinking oneself to be the enjoyer of the world and thinking everything in the world to be meant for the enjoyment of one's self only. The whole materialistic world is moving under such false egoism of I and mine. But the factual effect of chanting the holy name is to become free from such misconceptions. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. finishing 9:30. And day after we have the appearance of Lord Ram. Tomorrow I won't be able to take class because I'll be having services in the temple. I'll be in the temple hall. So on the appearance day of Lord Ram, of course, we will hear from Valmiki Ramayana. I wanted to do it today also. I wanted to begin it today, but couldn't find time. Please prepare our heart. So many sessions we have had of Lord Ram. So please retrieve your notes. What we discussed from Valmiki Ramayana, the appearance of Lord Ram. Anyone remembers? Please find out and meditate how Ramayana begins. Who remembers how Ramayana begins? How the story of Lord Ram begins? Who remembers? We heard Ramayana for almost 2 months, more than 2 months. Priyanka, how the story of Lord Ram begins?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, there are two verses that Kroncha birds like a
But that is still later. That is still later. Now it begins. Now the hands are down. No. You should remember the inquiry of Valmiki Muni to Narada Rishi. What is the inquiry? अरे अब तो पकड़ लो, अब क्या है? यस सोनिका?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, वाल्मीकि मुनि ने बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस एक साथ किए थे कि कौन सबसे शक्तिशाली है, कौन सबसे शौर्यवान, इस तरह करके बहुत सीरीज ऑफ क्वेश्चन।
Who is that one personality who is distinguished, who is outstanding, who has perfectly followed the path of religion? He wants to know and hear about it. So on the appearance of Lord Ram, what we should do? We try to meditate on his qualities. Nama Rupa Guna. Which translate into qualities. Okay, so please, all of you, tomorrow try to. And Manoram Prabhu, Dayashil Prabhu, you give class tomorrow there in IERI. Saturday. Speak on Lord Ram. Speak on Lord Ram. Prepare yourself. And speak on the glories of Lord Ram and invite people to come to temple on Sunday to celebrate the auspicious appearance of Lord Ram. Everyone is invited to come. Those who are in Delhi NCR. Those who are even not in Delhi NCR. Purushottam Prabhu, I can get one room. So if you want, you can come. Stay for Saturday night. Attend the festival on Sunday. And go back on Sunday. See if it is practically possible for you. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. I'll let you know.
Yeah, Ram Navami is our annual day. It will be a big celebration. There will be simultaneous Abhishek in all the 3 altars, which happens only once in a year. Thank you very much. Any question from anyone or any discussion? Try to read these verses. At least spend some 10-15 minutes time every day. If you spend only 10 to 15 minutes time, you'll be able to recollect, recap, and you'll be able to penetrate it in your consciousness, what we are studying and hearing and reading. Thank you very much. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।